Why, hello, hi, it is me, Shazai. Zoltar Didi, you're a high in the internet. Thank you so much for joining me back on my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Those of you who are returning, hey girl, hey. Also, hey everybody else who's not girl. Hey guys, okay. Thank you so much for coming back. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe, please. I really do need the channel to grow, you guys. I love coming down here for chats with you all, and we're gonna have one of these Didi's haters all over the place kind of chats today about hair, about black girl hair. I know somebody's like, oh, but they saw the title and they opened the video. Why is you here? Please stay and subscribe. Okay. Here's what happened. Here's why we're having this chat, right? I just posted the Real Housewives of Durban, and in the last bit I went off a bit at Annie making a comment about Sane, whom I can't stand. So in no way should anybody think that I'm coming out in defense of Sane. It's mostly that I don't like what Annie said. Annie, whom I actually like. A lot of people are like, I don't know what the disdain for Annie is. I don't know why I haven't received her in the same fashion. I really think she's straight. She doesn't want to do the bullshit. There are parts of her like that remind me of myself. So I understand where she's coming from. I also find her, because of like JoJo, and I'm talking about the Real Housewives of Durban now, because of JoJo and it is on Showmax. Somebody asked me, where do I watch the Real Housewives of Durban? It's on Showmax. Because of JoJo and Nonko's very ditzy thing, I quite enjoy having to deal with Sarisha or watch Sarisha and Annie, because it's a bit of a balance. They're just a bit more grown and stuff. Not a bit, they just are grown women. So this has nothing to do with like me not liking Annie and whatever. I posted a snip like literally the last 2 minutes or so of my last video on my TikTok, and I got some engagement on it that got my wheels turning, and I realized that the conversation of hair is something I've been talking about in my reviews. I've been trying to chat about it. The Real Housewives of Nairobi girls, a white woman on that show, Lisa, made a comment about Mine's wigs and how every time I see her she's wearing a different wig. I did not like that. Like, it upset me. I don't take kind to some of the things we say to each other about our hair because there's a root of it. But I especially don't like when people who do not share our experiences or anything similar to it and could not begin to fathom the political decision that is how you're gonna wear your hair as a black woman, the repercussions of how it is you're gonna wear your hair as a woman, the ability to maneuver of how it is you're gonna wear your hair as a black woman. You cannot begin to understand these things. And what I've come to appreciate is that sharing an identity, a large bit of your identity with a group of people, doesn't mean you guys will always see things the same or come from the same place. And that's my experience with black women, especially around difficult issues like hair. A lot of us don't want to have the conversation of why it is we make the decisions we make around our hair. So we want to make it a nothingness kind of thing. It's just what I like. It fucking isn't. It actually isn't. Oh, why must you guys politicize? It's not us. We found it political. Do you understand? So in my comment section on this video, it actually wasn't even crazy comments like I usually get on some of the videos that I've posted on there. I liked these comments. They seemed genuine. They seemed like people who watched the show who actually were engaging. So I don't feel any which way about it. But again, I saw black women coming into a space where I'm saying it is not okay for this colored woman who is put on a pedestal, and usually at my expense, especially her hair, for her to have anything to say about how I choose to wear my hair, natural or synthetic. Say fucking nothing. This you want no part of this, and I will never take kind to it. For anybody to try and diminish Annie saying to Sane, come talk to me when you have better hair, as a throwaway comment, as an innocent, or it was just fighting words, you're fucking delusional. You are delusional in life if you don't think that a woman who looks like Annie, whose hair texture is like Annie doesn't know that she's preferred above a woman who looks like Sane, whose hair, we've seen Sane's hair. I'm not making this shit up. In a couple of episodes back, we saw Sane in her little fro, and again, I had commentary on hair. She had her little bitty, like very like rich looking 4C afro kind of thing. And I spoke about the hairband she put there. So this isn't something I'm just grasping at now. Hair is something that I observed, I talk about. I went natural at the age of 12 with my best friend, right? We were influenced by, at the time, I believe Precious African, also Lebo Mashile, and they were on our TV screens, and those were people that were influencing us. And we've always wanted to see the African continent because Precious did this Precious Africa program where she was going to different parts of our continent. We're like, oh my God, and we were 12 and we were natural at 12. So we learned to deal with our hair, to love it, for nobody around us was ever like, don't you girls want to go natural? The natural hair movement found us on track, and that doesn't make us better than anybody or anything. It's for me to give you all an understanding of where I'm coming from with the hair thing. It's not for fashion. I'm not grasping and I'm not reaching. Annie knows that she's preferred, right? And not to reduce like the difficulties we deal with as Black women to simply like dating and attractiveness and how are men receiving us, and they say she's prettier because this, and then because all the many isms that like put us always at the very bottom, and we must prove ourselves and claw our way, and that's why we put up with so much shit from men because, hey, right? Not to diminish it to that. She's preferred not just in the sense of men look at her and think, fuckability, here, me, here. How she navigates the world is preferred. Her walking into a room, she does not need to question very much to the degree that we have to question how she wears her hair and how the other people are gonna receive her. She doesn't need to sit down and do the math of, I can't go there with my hair looking like this because these are the connotations attached to my when I wear my hair like this, right? I'm this, and I might be lazy, I might be not bright enough, I don't look professional because how our hair grows out of our head is not professional. So when Sane wore that headband there, it reminded me exactly of that. Stay with me, I do this, I'll go on tangents. I spoke about this in the review, that when you have your little fro out, you always feel like, because the voices are there, the murmurs, like they've been there your whole life, you're not done, you're not finished. Like, you can't just wash your hair and go, it's not done. It is not done. You must do something to it as a Black girl, contrary to what the other women experience. The white girls can just get in the shower and wash their hair and go. Every other girl can do that. The Black girl, she must do something. She must absolutely do something to communicate that I tried. See, I'm trying. I know how I come, like me, as me. I'm aware it's unacceptable. So look here, I put a hairband, I tried. I'm trying to look put together and professional. Me without the headband, that's me being lazy. I'm unkept, I'm not trying. And Annie making that comment, Elisa making the comment that every time I see her, she's in a different, it does something to me that I cannot begin to explain, because they have never had to sit and come to a choice where they're like, wearing my hair like this might not get me this job. They've never had to deal with that, ever. They wear their hair, and I don't care if they say they have. If they have, it's not to the degree that we have, or they're also just fucking liars, and I'm comfortable saying that. You cannot tell me, you guys, Lisa cannot tell me, for instance, that she understands why me, and the part of the reason why they feel comfortable to now say some of the things they say, it's because we're lying to each other and ourselves about why it is we wear our hair the way we wear our hair. So if we're gonna reduce it to, oh, it's just a wig, which it's fucking not. Oh, it's just a wig, I just wanna wear my hair like this, and I just wanna change up my hair like this, and I just wanna, no. If we're making memes talking about how you wear your hair will have men, because everything is about men, right? How you wear will elicit attention from different men. I don't know what, but it will get your attention from different kinds of men. You wear your hair natural, you have a certain kind of brother approaching you. You wear the waves, you have a certain kind of dude trying to talk to you. If we make memes about this as a ha-ha, and then we want to in the same breath act like we don't know that our hair makes maneuvering the world very different for us. I think we need to be honest, you guys. A lot of us are lying. The girls with my hair's locked. It's been locked for, is it 10 years now? It could be 10 or 11, but about 10 years now. And in recent years, I've seen and experienced and known of, you've probably seen the videos, of women who wear their hair in the fashion that I wear it, which is dreadlocks, putting chemicals on their edges to give them more of that sleek look that Annie has naturally, right? To give them more of that look that is acceptable, that is put together, that is neat. Literally defying the whole point of locks, of wearing your hair in its most natural state. Because it's not enough. We know it's not enough. And we're not the ones saying it. We've taken it on, we've internalized what it's been communicated to us enough times, and we're not stupid. It's been communicated enough times for us to understand that this is not acceptable and it's not allowed. You best do something about that fucking hair. You cannot just show up here, right? The other thing that's coming apart is the natural hair movement. Julesy, who is a content creator on here on YouTube, whom I love her content so much and stuff. She started off as a natural hair influencer. I wasn't familiar with her content at the time. I've known her now with the content she's been doing in recent years, quite a while still, because it was a while ago that she left the natural hair movement and stuff. And she did a beautiful video. It's I hope you go and watch it. And she talks about As Told by Kenya is another one I like, who also did a video talking about really the natural hair movement and what's happened in these spaces, how it's got the girls with the loose textures like Annie have come in, co-opted and took over the entire space and pushed us, the 4C girls who've had to work hard to stand in the mirror and see ourselves as beautiful with our hair growing in its natural state. It's actual work. The mental exercise that goes into looking at your hair after the big chop and it's tiny. This is why you also try to grow out your hair as much as possible before you do that big chop, right? You are aware that there are social consequences for you wearing your hair that short and that coily, which Annie could never understand. And everybody is saying to me, oh, she was talking about her wig. Bitch, it's the same thing. Can you imagine how you must view your hair as it grows out of your head? How little you must feel when you wear it in its natural state for you to go and take an ugly synthetic wig and put it over it. You would rather walk around with that thing. You'd rather change out your wigs for many ugly, non-desirable looking wigs, as Lisa would say Mine is doing, because the idea of showing up in certain spaces with your little hair feels inappropriate. That's the language they use to describe my coils. You all are selling me on this, but because you guys don't even want to have the conversation as black women of, I don't feel pretty with my little bitty afro. Only in recent years, a few of you have been able to say it, but since we're even regressing back to relaxers and stuff, and everybody's making it a manageable issue and not the issue of it's really hard to feel beautiful with your natural hair as a black woman. It's really hard to navigate the world and get desired outcomes in all manner of spaces, not just men, with my hair like this. Because other black women are policing you when you're out there, right? I'm walking in my hair like this, oh, Chakra Han, or oh, she's that woke bitch. It's already things that's being attached by me. There are consequences, people. This is a political choice. Whether or not I want to call it that, whether or not I want to say I just like locks, which I do. My mom has them. There's that influence. I'm tender-headed. I was never gonna go back to relaxing my hair after I went natural that young. I love locks. I locked my hair. I locked it understanding. At the time, 10 years ago, there was still demonic in the society that I come from. Boys who still lock their hair where I am have like older people frowning on them, like, why are you wearing your hair like that? It's not nothing. And when you don't share in these experiences, it's best to shut the fuck up. Don't make them into nothingness because they're nothingness to you. Of all the many things Annie could have said to Sane who chooses to wear that ugly wig over her little bitty fro because she feels somewhat put together and probably somewhat prettier in that ugly ass wig than she feels with the hair that's growing out of her scalp naturally. Can you imagine the mind fuck? Like, can you just imagine how fucked we are in the head as black women from the time we're little girls for us to opt to wear some skirpot looking thing over just wearing our hair? You could never. So then shut up about it. Shut up about it. Because it's not like you haven't, your proximity to blackness by way of marriage with your husband, I'm going to assume you've heard the comments people say about our hair. I'm going to assume that because I'm South African. The ignorance with which we still talk about hair, the way we refer to like the different like strands and how tightly knit and your coils, how we still refer to my texture of hair is really, really tight as kafarara. We still call it that. I've heard us call it that. We still say, oh, her fro is nicer because it's a little, we say it. We say it without really applying ourselves to what it is we're saying. So she could never ever convince me that she doesn't know that the texture of her natural hair, she's worn her natural hair on camera countless times, all the time. She wears the wig to change up her look. Not because she feels undesirable when she wears, or she feels that she's gonna be ill-treated or not received well or uncomfortable when she wears her natural hair. Annie wears wigs, but she wears wigs because she wants to. She doesn't wear them for the same reasons that a lot of black women, even though they'll never admit it, wear them. It's not because you think it's just pretty. I know you want to say that, oh, it's just because I like it. No. We've gotten away with this like bullshit for so long, just talking around it and stuff. No. It makes it easier to maneuver. It does. It makes it easy to navigate these spaces. And she knows nothing about it, so she needs to shut up. Hair's politically charged. I said in the Nairobi video that I went to these schools where they write policies policing our hair that they don't know the first thing about. Those policies are still there. It wasn't too long ago that young kids, less than 5 years ago, I forget this young lady's name. She's probably out of high school by now, if not in matric, but a grade 8 learner. She had a huge fro. She actually has what we would deem an acceptable fro, right? Like, because she has lots of it, right? Because it's luscious and stuff, and it's like, oh, that's acceptable and stuff. But it wasn't for the white people. And her school was trying to tell her how to wear this fro, and there was protest at the school, and the kids were like, we've had enough. There were people I went to school with, because it went viral. People I went to school with, I went to church with, commenting, black people, commenting that, yes, but it is all over the place, and she must braid it, and she must do this, and she must, and then she must. It's so internalized that when you vomit the shit out, because that's what it is, it's vomit. When you want to vomit that like colonized bullshit onto the rest of us, you actually think you're on some shit. Like you think I remember a particular girl saying to me, and she's relaxed hair, I've known her my whole life. She's always considered herself having good hair because she's got relaxed hair about there. And it's never occurred to her, your hair isn't growing past this length because of the fucking chemicals that aren't supposed to be there. She thinks her hair is so kept, you know? Like, she thinks her hair is so neat, and she's talking about, my mother would never, your mom needs to unlearn some things just like you. Her being your mom doesn't make her right. It just makes her your mom, and good for you. My mom would never let me, even at like the school we went to, I went to Mariski, we'd never have gotten away. That's not okay. The fact that we were not, how am I forgetting this? My friend combed out her fro this one time. It was literally, this old white woman, Miss Maybach. Was that her? Miss Maybach? What the fuck was her name? Whatever. Old, thick Afrikaans accent, right? Goes to her and tells her she must cut her hair. It's too big. The fuck do you know about this hair? It's the confidence also that they think they can just come and like tell you about your hair, what to do with it, how to wear it, and then you all want to participate with them and come and defend Annie and say, I'm reaching. I'm not reaching. Annie's been around enough black people to know our hair is politically charged as a topic, as a lived experience that she should know to stay clear, especially because she's not a dummy. She could have found anything to say to that woman about the shit she has said about her. Do you see what I'm saying though? It's not nothing. Annie knows exactly what she was saying. If you're operating from a place where on the hierarchy, you're ranked, you know that when you decide to enter discourse that doesn't have an adverse effect on you like it does on me, you know what you're doing. You are not about to convince me that it was innocent and it's a by the by and it's such a throwaway. Not about hair. Not about black women's hair. No. Shut up. Shut up. Go talk about something else. Go talk about how the community you come from always want to claim that they have a like German ancestry and never want to talk about their black side because proximity to whiteness is so important in the colored community. Like, go have that fucking chat. That seems important. Anyway, that's all. That's it. Hey, that's it. I remember like with my locks, and I say that's it. Like at a certain length, I wasn't as confident. At a certain length, for instance, I get away with everything now because of how like my hair is, right? It's it's long, it's full. I don't do much to my hair. If anybody's looking for a tutorial, I don't have one. My hair grows because I leave it alone. I can tie it and just go, and nobody sees it as unprofessional and unkept, and I don't need to question whether or not I'm pretty because it's ticked one of the boxes, and that's length and fullness, right? Because there's boxes out here, right? If you can't achieve the texture shit and have a loosey-goosey curl, it must be an impressive ass afro. It must be like full and 4C, and oh my god, I wonder how long it is when you straighten it, right? Oh, you guys don't stop. Anyway, bye, Ella.